This afternoon, President Trump is hosting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy at the White House, just days after he rolled out the red carpet for Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Jessica Moore is live in the newsroom with what we can expect. Jess.
Well, Cindy, President Zelenskyy is not coming alone. He's bringing backup in the form of 7 European leaders as the White House promises to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine amid the ongoing peace talks with Russia. A show of European support for President Zelenskyy ahead of his White House meeting with President Trump Monday afternoon. The leaders of France, Germany, the UK, Italy, Finland, NATO, and the European Union will accompany Zelenskyy in his bid to shore up security guarantees amid the ongoing peace talks with Russia. Last night, Zelenskyy posted he hoped the joint strength will force Russia into a real peace. Today's White House summit comes just days after President Trump met with Russian President Vladimir Putin and made an abrupt pivot on his push for a short-term ceasefire, instead suggesting the parties go directly to a peace agreement.
It's impossible to do this under the pressure of weapons, so it's necessary to cease fire.
Ahead of today's meeting, President Trump is ratcheting up the pressure on Ukraine, posting that Zelenskyy can end the war immediately if he wants to by giving up Crimea. Former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine William Taylor says Zelenskyy will likely come prepared to negotiate.
There's a difference between formal recognition of Russian ownership, sovereignty over Crimea, which the Ukrainians won't agree to. But they could make a counterproposal. They could, on that one, on the Crimea, they could say, look, we will acknowledge that you Russians now occupy Crimea. We don't like it, we don't accept it, but we acknowledge it. And we will not try to take it back militarily. On NATO, they could say, okay, we agree that we're not going to go into NATO today, not now, but we won't agree that we can never go in.
Taylor went on to say Russian President Vladimir Putin has given up nothing in the negotiations, something U.S. allies will likely press the president on during their meeting today.
President Trump needs to ask the question about his top priority. President Trump has said over and over he wants to stop the killing. That means a ceasefire. That means a ceasefire now while they negotiate, while these issues are debated. A ceasefire now will stop the killing, which is what President Trump has said all along.
European leaders will likely be looking for assurances that the U.S. remains committed to holding their alliance together. President Trump has said there would be, quote, no going into NATO by Ukraine. However, over the weekend, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff said President Putin had agreed to allow the U.S. and European allies to offer Ukraine NATO-like collective security guarantees. Cindy?
All right, Jess Moore live from the newsroom. Jess, thank you. And we will have continuing coverage of the high-stakes meeting. You can find the latest on air and online at cbsnewyork.com and a full report tonight at 5.